Eric Powers, and this is the Powers Play. In my last video, we did the outlook of all 16 teams in the AFC, my expectations, what I'm looking for. And in this video, we're going to, of course, do the NFC. It's good out there in the NFC. It's different out there. So like in the first video, I also recapped my expectations before last season. And in this video, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to run through them, but I'm going to lead into my expectations for this season, okay? So I had it written down. Like I said, I had it written down for a while, and I just want to get it out there because some of them are funny, some of them were way off. So look out for your team, okay? So, and also like, share, subscribe to this channel. I greatly appreciate it. Looking to get up to 100 subs. We'll do something special, you know, once we get there. I appreciate everyone that's dropped in so far for the views. I appreciate the support. If I can support y'all, you know, your businesses in any way, just let me know. All right. So let's just start with the NFC East off the top. I got a lot of friends who are fans of NFC East teams. I'm from that area. I'm from Philadelphia, and the Eagles fans are Cowboys fans for some reason. Sprinkle of Giants fans and the Washington football team fans. So we're gonna start. We'll start with the Giants. So, like I said, before last season, my what I was looking for. I'm just gonna read it off. How would they look? Well, Eli look without Odell Beckham, and I'll be looking to see how Saquon did, of course. And I suspected that they were probably going to suck, and Eli ended up looking terrible. He probably would have looked bad with or without Odell Beckham. I literally wrote that down. You know, that was pretty much the answer. And he ended up getting bitched in favor of Daniel Jones. So Saquon was great. Saquon was Saquon. Everybody saw him coming. He was cool. They went 4-12. So coming up for them, you know, this season, how can they compete in that division? Looking forward, I want to see how Daniel Jones progresses. You know, how will Saquon also progress? Will he keep those numbers high, keep them up? It's not a lot of names, but Sterling Shepard is very underrated. He's pretty good. He was like the last of that receiver squad that they had with Odell Beckham. You know, I think even before that, but look out for him. They got a good tight end over there. We'll see if they can compete in the division. It shouldn't be hard. We'll see. So next we have the Washington football team, or the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. I had before last season, looking at rookie QB at the time, Dwayne Haskins. That was it. So what turned out, he appeared in 9 games. He started 7, and he had below QB numbers expected of a rookie. Sacked 29 times, and that's a lot to appear in 9 games, and you sacked almost 30 times. That's a lot. So hopefully he can, you know, move around. Ohio State quarterbacks don't pan out. I really don't know why teams keep drafting Ohio State quarterbacks. They just don't work. None of them, none of them works. Cordell Jones, Braxton Miller. We'll see about Dwayne Haskins. Man, I don't want to get this one wrong, but I think Terrell Pryor. I know there's some more. There's a lot more. But they just don't work. They will ball in college, but they don't work in the NFL. And the sooner the NFL realizes that, the better. So not expecting a lot from the Washington football team. They don't even have a name, you know. But, you know, we'll see how they do. Again, don't expect much. You shouldn't expect much. I don't expect much. And moving on. Next, the Dallas Cowboys. So I had before last season, looking at Dak Prescott, already the best team in the conference. This is before last season started. So he had a breakout year, ended up having a breakout year, but the team wasn't consistent, and they went 8-8 in a trash division. That's what happened. So this year, they are loaded offensively. Offensive line is still top 5. Running back is top 5. Wide receiver core, they say, is top 5. We'll see. They got CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Gallup. Dak is going to be in a contract year in and year out. It seems he's playing on a franchise tag. But, you know, of course, he's looking for something. You know, he's looking to prove himself. The defense is fine. They grabbed Alden Smith for free agency. DeMarcus Lawrence had a down year last year after getting his money. Surprise, surprise. Sean Lee is injured. That's a shocker. And their secondary, I don't know anybody back there. You know, I do, but they're no one to write home about. But again, that offense should be prolific, but if they're not, it's because it's the quarterback. I'm still expecting them to win that division, though. I'm expecting them to win 12 games. So, we'll see. And then, y'all beloved Philadelphia Eagles, a lot of y'all beloved Philadelphia Eagles. I had, before last season, I said, can Carson regain that 17-18 magic and stay healthy throughout the season? And the team was supposed to be fire from top to bottom. You know, they really look poised to make a run at the entire conference. And what ended up turning out to be, I said, yeah, sort of had nothing to work with and put up record numbers. So good for Carson. It shows that, I mean, the man is talented. He is talented. He stayed healthy all regular season and got hurt in the first playoff game in like 3 plays. And unfortunately, I think Clowney fell on his head and messed him up. So this year, they should compete for the division. Again, I got Dallas winning the division, 12, maybe even 13 wins. The Eagles, I'm not expecting much because a lot of times it's good to bring back your core and everybody, but in their case, it's not. You went 9-7 last year and was one and done, and it was ugly. It was a very ugly 9-7. And they just brought back everybody, and that's not a good thing. Miles Sanders is nice. Got him on my fantasy team, waiting for him to play. You know, but Deshaun Jackson and Alshon Jeffrey ain't gonna cut it. You're not winning the Super Bowl with those two as your wide receivers. I'm not saying that D-Jax ain't good. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer, but he hasn't been part of a Super Bowl team yet, so why now? Neither is Jeffrey. He might be done. He probably should retire. Ertz is there. Ertz is fine. The O-line's pretty cool. A little banged up, I think. The defense is fine. They got Darius Slay back there. This is after week 1, and they didn't even try him. So, but I'm not expecting much. They will come second in the division because they have more talent than the other teams, in my opinion. But 10 wins tops, so they might get that last spot. We'll see. So we're on to the NFC North. We're going north. Vikings. Before last season, I said names, talent, and money everywhere. Everybody was getting paid. But can the production match all the money they were handing out? Kirk Cousins, Danielle Hunter, man, there was a few other people who got paid, you know. And what ended up happening, the answer was They could have played better. They made the playoffs, had a big upset win over the Saints. I guess that's a success. That's a successful season. They did have a playoff win, so you can't be mad at that. So this year, they lost Diggs. They lost Everson Griffin. They still got Danielle Hunter. He's a beast. Kirk Cousins is going to be Kirk Cousins. I don't think he's ever going to change. He's just not Mr. Primetime. I like watching him play though. He's cool. He puts up big numbers. Adam Thielen's there. The team is going to be good. They're going to be good. They're going to compete in that division with Green Bay. They are. They're going to compete. Dalvin Cook. The defense should be pretty good. After watching them the other day, they may not be as good, but I'm not going to hold 1 week against any of these teams. AFC, NFC, not going to hold week 1 against anybody. That's stupid. They'll compete in the division. I got them coming in second place in the division. They might get that extra playoff spot that they have. So we got the Lions. Before last year, doormat. But I was looking at that rookie tight end. I think his name was like Hawkinson or Hutchison or something. But he was highly recruited, and they got him. He didn't do much last year, unfortunately. And so turns out they were the doormat. They went 3-12-1, ultra trash. Didn't help that Stafford missed 8 games due to injury. That's his name, yeah, TJ Hawkinson's son. He didn't do anything, but I wonder if that was his fault or not, because they had a backup quarterback who I don't know. Doesn't matter. They're the Lions. They're not going to do shit this year. I'm sorry. They're not. They're the Lions until the entire culture changes over there, until players actually want to play there for more than 10 years. Good players want to play there for more than 10 years and not retire early. We've had 2 all-time greats to say, you know what, I can't do it no more. I can't do it no more. We're never going to be as good as that team or that team. You know, we had Barry Sanders, he had Megatron, and they both called it quits, you know, sooner than they had to. They both could have probably broken all-time records, and they said it ain't worth it. So we'll see what they do. Second year with Matt Patricia, I think he already on the hot seat. Galladay is good, man. He might make the Pro Bowl this year. But other than that, it's not much to look forward to. They're the Lions, you know. Matthew Stafford can keep, you know, building his numbers, you know, growing his numbers. Maybe he'll get into the Hall of Fame if his numbers are gaudy enough. That's all we can look for. You got the Chicago Bears. Before last year, I was asking, can Mitchell Trubisky take the next step? No, he cannot. He did not anyway. He was super trash last year. So this year, you got Nick Foles in there. He's not playing right now. He's not starting. Apparently, Trubisky beat him out in training camp. He won. Pause on the beat out. He won the starting job for now. I don't expect Mitchell to keep that job. I don't. He's just not that good. He's not that good. Don't care what he did in week 1. It was the Lions. Don't care. Nick Foles will be playing by week 6. You can take it to the bank. He'll be playing by week 6. And then Mitchell Trubisky will probably play again before the end of the season. That's how bad their situation is, because Nick Foles isn't good anywhere except Philadelphia. It's the only place he's good. He's trash everywhere else. It's unfortunate because the Bears had like a Super Bowl defense a couple years ago. I guess they still have it, but I think their window is already closed. Those windows don't stay open for long unless you're New England, of course. And now it's closed now, but It don't stay open for long. It's unfortunate that they passed on Deshaun Watson and Pat Mahomes for Mitchell Trubisky. Whew, those dudes could be a dynasty right now. They could literally have been a dynasty with that defense and one of those quarterbacks. That's all y'all needed. That's crazy. And then we got Green Bay. Man, Green Bay. Before last year, I was asking. I don't know. I was saying that. Aaron Rodgers needs to have an MVP season. He needed to have an MVP season for them to actually get good, because that's what the story of his life and Green Bay's life been since 2011, to be honest. Like right after he won the Super Bowl, they said, oh, well, you're super great. We're going to let Donald Driver walk, and we're going to let James Jones walk, and we're going to let Greg Jennings go to the division rival, and we're going to let this running back go, and that running back go. We're going to let Jimmy Graham go. Well, I think he's there now. I'm sorry. I think he's still there now. Anyway, they had a nice dude before him. Either way, they're like, you're just so great. You don't need good players except for Devontae Adams. So, and he struggled with that and still won 2 MVPs, 2 league MVPs. Anybody who don't think he not the GOAT, I think he the GOAT, just so y'all aware of that. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah. So he didn't need to have an MVP season. They went 13-3. People don't even peep. They went 13-3 last season. Along with my 49ers, they went 13-3, ended up in the AFC Championship. So people talk about his numbers went down. He didn't need to have crazy numbers last year because they actually had a running back. They had a new system with a new coach, Matt LaFleur. They fired the dude who coached McCarthy. He now coaches the Cowboys. So he doesn't need to do all of that anymore. They actually have a real playbook, because Aaron Rodgers said it himself. The playbook was trash. It was boring. It was stale. It was predictable. So again, 13-3 last year. You can't argue with that. So I expect them to win their division, to be honest, going away. I expect them to be 13-3 this year again, to be honest. Maybe even better. We'll see. Who knows? But I expect them to make a deep playoff run. I do. We'll see. I don't know about Super Bowl, but we'll see. NFC South now. NFC South always been competitive. Always been. No matter if they all good or bad, there's always somebody coming out there. Falcons. So before last season, real quick, were they due for a good season? Turned out to be, no, they weren't. They got good towards the end of the season. They even beat the 49ers, which is crazy, which is wild. Last second touchdown to Julio. Who would have thought? So this year, I mean, Matt Ryan, Julio are still there. I feel like their offensive playbook is getting stale. Speaking of stale playbooks and stale running, it's time for some new blood in the coaching staff. So yeah, they need to switch that up. They got to get an offensive mind in there. But you never know in the NFC South, man. Every year is somebody different coming out of there, except for the Bucks. They're the only team that don't really come out of that division. Everybody else rotate. The Panthers go to the playoffs. They win to the Super Bowl. The Falcons go to the Super Bowl. The Saints, you know, they haven't been in the Super Bowl, but they're always in the playoffs, always. So the Falcons, I don't expect them to compete with the Bucks or the Saints. The Saints are going to be crazy this year. But we'll see. We'll just see if they can be competitive. That's, as a Falcons fan, I think that's what you can hope for. Hope that they're competitive within their division. Don't worry about outside the division. Worry about in the division. Can they compete in the division? If they can do that, then you should be optimistic. Got the Panthers. I said for last season, I said, are they also due for a good season? Also looking at Christian McCaffrey. They were trying to find out. They were not due for a good season. They went 5-11. They started out high. They started out 4-2, if y'all can believe that. They started out 4-2 and ended up 5-11. Ugh. Yuck. So Cam didn't really play. I think he played part of the first game or the whole first game, and he was out due to injury. Christian McCaffrey's going to be great. I seriously think he's going to be an all-timer. So I'm just looking to see if is Teddy Bridgewater the long-term answer in Carolina, or is he just a placeholder like Tyrod Taylor is over in over on the Chargers? Again, will Christian McCaffrey keep it going? I fully expect him to keep it going. Again, I think he's going to be an all-timer. You know, tons of yards, tons of touchdowns, receptions, rushes. He's different. He's special. Good for him. I'm not expecting much from them in that division. That division's too top heavy. But again, as a Panthers fan, if you are a Panthers fan, just hope you can compete within the division and beat the bad teams. That's all. Just hope you can beat bad teams. Y'all and the Falcons. Next, we got the Bucks. That's my brother's team. Don't know why. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, the Bucks, man. Let's see. Before last season, I was looking at as Jameis Winston. How's he going to perform overall? Pretty much. Turns out, I actually think Jameis had an interesting season. To be honest, I wouldn't call it bad. But I'm not going to call it good either, because 5,000 yards, 30 plus touchdowns, and 30 interceptions. That's bad with 30 interceptions. That's a lot. You throwing 2 picks a game. But you threw 30 plus touchdowns, but you also threw for 5,000 yards. Like, I don't know. It was time for them to move on from him, of course, because, you know, most true progressive quarterbacks would have definitely taken that next step and led their team to more victories, to playoff wins. He didn't do any of that. He just played. He played around. And he paid for it. So now they got Tom Brady in there. They got Gronk in there. And they also have a loaded offense. They got a good running back. They got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. The O-line is kind of shoddy. They may need to work on that. But we'll see if Tom Brady, with his quick passes, can negate that O-line, can, you know, X out that O-line. The defense is okay. The dude, man, Shaq, he 19.5 sacks last year. So let's see if, you know, the rest of the defense could come with him, you know. We'll see. Everyone's saying Super Bowl or bust, right? Because they got Tom Brady. We'll see. We'll see. There's no preseason this year. Barely any training camp, no OTAs, none of that going on. So everybody's starting out a little shoddy. We'll see what they do. Everyone's expecting them to do this and that. The Saints, again, I think are the class. I honestly think they're the class of the entire conference. So, and on to the Saints now. Before last season, I'm looking at Alvin Kamara overall. I think that was last season was his first season as the #1 only running back, because Mark Ingram was gone. So, and I was looking to see if they were the best team in the NFC last year. Ended up Kamara's first year without Ingram. And in my opinion, it was a bad year. 797 yards. He played in 14 games and had 1 rushing touchdown. And they were still one of the best teams in the league, which it was kind of messed me up, because he was just asking for a contract a couple weeks ago, right before the season started, he wanted a new contract. And I'm like, I'll be hesitant to give you a contract too, because they took a little time to give him the contract. I said, I'll be hesitant too, looking at these numbers, bruh. They was one of the best teams in the conference, and you didn't even really help. So they ended up being upset by Minnesota again. So I'm expecting them to be better. I'm actually expecting them to be even better this year than last year. Drew Brees is healthy again. Expecting him to play all the games. Alvin Kamara, of course, will be looking to bounce back. He got his money. They got Emmanuel Sanders already. I mean, Michael Thomas, Cook on the tight end. The defense is, I like their defense. Very stingy secondary back there. I like that. So I'm expecting the New Orleans Saints to be the best team in the NFC this year. I'm a 49ers fan, and I got them as an L on my schedule. It's okay, because we beat them last year. But I got them as an L, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. And people need to realize that. There's no shame in losing to good teams. People will really point at you, oh, man, you lost to the Chiefs. Don't everybody? So yeah. We did the South, we did the North, we did the East. We're going to the West. Okay. So, NFC West, before last season, I'm looking at Kyler Murray. I think he was a rookie last year, of course. How will he fail? I mean, how will he fare? He was good. Answer, yes. Kyler Murray seems to be the answer down there in Arizona. It's going to be tough, though, for everybody in that division. That division is stacked. The division is the best in the whole league. Is not even close. And you just look at the personnel. If you just think about the personnel in that division, it's crazy out there. So again, we're gonna see how they fare in that division. You know, if the Saints ain't in the Super Bowl, then probably a team from the NFC West is going to be in the Super Bowl. That's how good that division is. It's crazy out there. I had heart attacks every game last year watching the 49ers in division games. Then we got the Rams. So before last year, I said, can they not fall off the face of the planet after the Super Bowl loss? And they didn't fall off the face of the planet after losing to the Patriots in that trash-ass Super Bowl that I did not watch. They were average. They didn't make the playoffs, but they were okay. They played us tough twice. I don't remember how many games they won, but they just weren't that great. But they didn't suck either. So this year, I'm looking to see if they can get it back, if they can get the wheels running again, get that magic back, and during that Super Bowl year, they let Gurley go back home to Atlanta. I think they're going to be more of a, three-headed running back attack, which works perfect for their offense. You don't have to worry about giving one guy 100 touches a game. Goff, take a lot of pressure off of Jared Goff. They got a really good offense, man. They are dangerous, man. They are dangerous. Jalen Ramsey just signed his contract, and I ain't seen a happy cornerback in a long time. So we're gonna see. Now I will say that I saw them last night against the Cowboys, and he looked happy. He looked happy, even when he got that call. That crazy call that a lot of people were very torn on. It was pass interference. Dude did push off, but he seemed legit happy. He talking to everybody, slapping hands. You're in LA, brand new, shiny new stadium. You got the money. He should be happy. Another team that I'm looking to see how they're going to fare in this division, man, is wild. The Wild West is the Wild West once again. Then we got the Seahawks. Hate these dudes, always did. Russell Wilson's a beast, can't lie. Don't like the Seahawks. Before last season, I was asking, can Russell Wilson keep up the MVP play? I'm looking at how good their defense can be or is or not. So ended up being, yes, he played like an MVP. He did not win MVP. He played like it. 100% carried the team to 12-4. Man, the defense was pretty much trash besides Jadeveon Clowney going after the quarterback. He was all over the place, especially all over my quarterback. So this year, a typical Seahawks, they loaded up on names. There's a free agent out there, the Seahawks or the Ravens are going to be all over them. Earl Thomas to Greg Olsen to Davion Clowney. If freaking Jerry Rice became a free agent, they sign him again because they signed him before back in back in 2000 or whatever. So they're trying to strike while the iron's hot, and I get it because Russell is playing like an MVP. He's been playing like one of the last 2 or 3 years, and they're trying to strike while the iron's hot, and I understand. It's just annoying. It really is. It's really annoying that they just go and grab every single free agent out there, it seems. Jimmy Graham. They got Greg Olsen this year. Like, why? Why? Whatever. That's what I be talking about, you know. But they're going to compete, of course. A lot of people got them winning the division this year. I don't know why, because we won it last year. But I understand. We'll see, because this is a we'll see division. We really will. This is a we'll see division. And then I should make a separate video for the 49ers. My 49ers. I was saying before last season, will Jimmy G take the next step or become elite? I said, how good is the defense? You know, can the production match the names? And I'm talking about all those first-round draft picks on the defensive line. And what turns out, the answer was, so he took some steps because he played in all 16 games after having a torn ACL the season before, only playing 3 games, and he went to the Super Bowl. So he did take the next step in a way. He did not become elite. Unfortunately, I don't think he's an elite player. Just hopefully he doesn't lose any more games for us. Just Ryan Tannehill it up. Just don't lose games. That's all I ask. So the defense was one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league. That defensive front was crazy. You get off that quarterback, it throws the quarterback timing off. It makes the secondary look good. Richard Sherman was still, I don't care what anybody says, he was still the #1 rated cornerback in the league last year. Don't care about, well, I care about what happened in the Super Bowl. Don't care about none of that other stuff. Stephon Gilmore is great. I get it, but I still believe we have the best cornerback in the league. A lot of people don't like that he doesn't move around with the wide receiver. He only plays on that left side, but that left side is for 98% of the season is on lockdown. Rodgers, as great as he is, won't even look his way. So, and that's even to this day, as early as last year. You see what happened when he tried them in the playoffs last year, got picked off. So, don't hate on Sherm. Don't hate on him. So, this year, I'm all looking again. Can Jimmy G take more steps? Can he become elite? Because a lot of people's looking, oh man, he came from the Patriots. He's the new Tom Brady. Belichick wanted to push Tom Brady out to start Jimmy G. So you got to be Tom Brady. And so it's kind of slow right now. I hope it does happen. I really hope they don't suffer from a Super Bowl hangover. That would really suck. They brought back 18 of the 22 starters, which is really good. So I just don't want these dudes to get comfortable. I think a lot of them were really hurt by what happened in the Super Bowl, and they'll come back stronger. So, yeah. Raheem Mostert's the real deal. I can't believe he played for so many teams. He's the real deal. Deebo Samuel's the real deal. They drafted another wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State, I think. He got dude arms is crazy long. He can catch anything. He got that reach. It's crazy. So I'm expecting them to compete in the division. I'm expecting them to be just as good as they were last year. It's going to be a tough division. A lot of those games in the division and out of the division could have gone either way, to be honest. In all honesty, same thing with the Seahawks. Could have gone either way. So the ball bounced our way last year. It really did. The ball was bouncing our way last year. Just hope for that same magic again. And with a little more experience, you know, we can get back to where we're supposed to be. And I mean, and that's it. That's it for the NFC, man. Again, I'm expecting the Saints, Packers, Niners to be there at the end. You know, some of y'all will say the Seahawks. I'm going to be biased. That's my team, the 49ers. I'm not going to say the Seahawks are going to be the best team in the division while my team is in the division. Doesn't make sense. You can say what you want. So that's what we got. The NFC overall is fire. They are. They're way better than the AFC. The AFC can produce the Super Bowl winner. Not saying that they can't. When you got the Chiefs and the Ravens. But other than that, the AFC is trash. That's why my thumbnail was what it was. The NFC got a ton of teams. They have a whole division that can compete, you know, in the NFC West. You got 2 teams in the North. You got 2 teams in the South. And whoever's going to come out the East. All right, so we're going to do the Week 1 recap coming soon, coming next. Thank you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know that you're in here. I appreciate the support. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. The Powers Play.